Let's log in over here. All right, looks like we are streaming. We are live. Okay, we are actually live. That seemed to have worked.
We are live.
We are live. Confirmed. Okay. The other thing, Chris, is that the chat room will devolve into horrible dad jokes and making fun of each other, making fun of us,
making fun of you,
making fun of me mostly. Yeah. So I try to ignore the chat room until something really funny comes in and these guys make me look at it, and then I have to acknowledge that someone's making fun of me.
Got it. The chat room in here in this Google thing, or on
YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube chat. Yeah.
All right, let me pull that up on my phone.
Hey Shy, how you doing?
Shy was the first one in.
Shy is also the only one that came and saw me at Toyota Fest, which we'll talk about later.
How was that, by the way? I enjoyed it through pictures.
It was very cool. We'll talk about it at the end of the show. But yeah, the very cool. It was a last minute opportunity for us to join, for Iron Man to join, and I was able to take Jose's Land Cruiser out there, and because the rest of these guys bailed on me, I didn't get the chance to really leave the table and go check it out. From what I did see, though, a lot of really cool old rigs. I think it's something that I want to participate in next year for sure, because there was
Let's go to Nissan Fest. They have those.
You got to talk to Bob Nissan
Bob Dotson. It's Bob Dotson. That's why we don't get invited to Nissan Fest.
You've been texting the wrong guy.
God damn it.
You've been texting Bob Nissan. No.
Yeah.
Bob Dotson.
Bob Dotson.
He's the guy.
Typical Ford guy.
He is our guy.
Anybody of
you would know. You would know.
Stefan.
Did you get that?
Jack.
Did you get that out of the way, Jose?
I got it out early on this one, dude.
Yeah.
I'll bring it back around.
Okay, quick microphone check. Chris, go ahead.
Check. 1 2 1 2.
Okay, Casey.
Check.
Matt.
Chickity check.
Jose.
Check.
Okay. All right. A couple things to consider while we're doing the recording. If we'll stop if we hear something, we'll stop you and let you know. If you're tapping on the table, or it looks like you're on your computer right now. Like if you're doing anything that's making noise in the background, that will get caught by the microphone, and usually it's hard to edit out. So just be aware that as you're we've had guests that sit there and click pens, and I don't catch it while we're doing it, and I listen to it after the fact, and all you hear is this.
All right, so no fidgeting. All right.
Minimal fidgeting.
No fidget spinners.
No fidget spinners. All right, Adam's in, Shy's in. Okay, looks like we are ready. Are you guys all ready?
Yeah, I did a mic check already.
All right, Chris, you ready to do this?
Let's go.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it is 6:30 on Tuesday night. We are live on YouTube as we are every Tuesday night. We are joined tonight on the big screen in the studio by Chris Phillips from Antelope Valley Overland. How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good. Thank you for coming on. And
pretty good.
And well,
can I answer? He asked, guys.
Let's. Do we want to go around the table? Jose showed up here with a shitty attitude already. I already know he had a bad day, so I don't even want to ask Jose.
Well, I'm 2 beers in now. So
okay.
I'm,
Thanks, Chris. I'm good. Thank you.
Oh, Jose, you should be fine. 2 beers in, you should be good.
I'm super lightweight, so I'm
no, Chris.
right now.
It takes a lot more than that. You should. Here's the thing about Jose.
He's very stealthy.
Whether he has 2 beers or 200 shots, he looks exactly the same, and you don't know. And he'll walk you around Vegas lost for 4 hours.
That I know.
And
then the next morning, I'm like, where were we?
And then admit that he's too drunk to know where he's at. That's Jose is dangerous in those environments. Casey's in a new chakra room. Looks like he's got his his teal green chakras tonight.
Yeah.
So
it's seafoam.
Seafoam. Seafoam chakras.
Yeah. That's the heart.
That is a Moana. It's the Moana room, right?
I don't know. I don't think not that one. No.
All right. So, anyways, Chris, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. We got connected through you from the guys at an Iron Man, and primarily talking about your upcoming anniversary event, which we will touch base on in a little bit. But let's start with Antelope Valley. So, where is Antelope Valley Overland at?
So, this store, my shop, is located just north of Los Angeles, about 45 minutes north of Los Angeles City, off the 14 freeway. It's pretty much a conduit to the 395 and Alabama Hills and everything else up that way. So we're right off the freeway in Lancaster, part of the Antelope Valley.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that. We talk a lot about Big Bear. You know, my brother Casey lives in Big Bear, and there's a lot of off-roading up there, and Big Bear. But you guys are like the west end of the off-road mecca with the 395 and all of the Randsburg, all of that stuff up there. It's like the perfect opportunity to hit Lancaster area and then go straight
like
up.
Gorman, right? It's kind of out that way.
That's the 5 though.
Yeah, no, Gorman
compared to Big Bear or whatever.
Yeah, Gorman.
Gorman's kind of close. It's about an hour from here.
Yeah,
thank you, Chris.
Hour west.
Thank you for confirming.
It's gonna go like that tonight.
My geological knowledge. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're a rock scientist?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I am a rock scientist.
Yeah, graphical.
Yeah,
thank you. And correcting my knowledge of geos.
Copernicus.
A rock scientist.
We're already
it's already
at a point where
not
we
an
should
English
turn the microphones
scholar.
off.
This is gonna be good.
So Chris, how long have you been have you always been in the Antelope Valley, and like what brought you to that area, if not?
So bit of a story, not too long, but
take all the time. Take all the time you want.
Yeah, I was born in Barbados, in the Caribbean. I moved to New York when I was about 17. Stayed there for about 15 years, and that's where I met my now wife. She's a California girl. She's from Orange County, and I met her while she was doing her residency in New York City, and she wanted to come back home, and here we are. She got offered a nice paying job here in the AV about 6 years ago, and within those 6 years, actually within the first year, she was able to start her own business.
Wow.
Have her own doctor's office and all that. And so I had visited California once prior to that, and I fell in love right away. I visited California in 2012, and I fell in love with just everything. The sea, the sand, the mountains, the constant sunshine. I love sunshine.
It's a huge. I got to admit, it's a
geological area.
Yeah, it's a major geological difference from Barbados to California, geologically speaking. But that's got to be.
I'm unaware of that. How long? Couple weeks,
that's just
maybe.
As bad as external combustion.
Look, Carlos, just own that shit. But that's a huge contrast to where you grew up. How old were you when you moved from Barbados to New York?
I had just turned 16, I think.
Wow.
He just said that. He said 17.
I wasn't writing fast enough, so I didn't catch
that. Around 16, 17. And I kind of just jumped right into it. I went from constant summertime and I moved to New York in the winter time, October of winter.
Oh, I've been in New York in
Man.
winter. It is it'll melt your face right off. It is so cold.
Man, listen, I was not ready. Obviously, I wasn't ready, but it's like,
Don't look at me like that. It'll freeze your face off, Matt.
Okay.
You knew what I meant.
Yeah. All I did was look at you.
So I mean, Barbados to New York, that's a giant culture shock.
Yep.
And then I would even say from New York to California is a whole nother culture shock.
Another culture,
like
definitely.
How do you do that? Like, how do you feel about? Well, there are people, most of us in this room, that are born and raised and live in the same place, like within a 15-mile radius, their entire lives, right? And then there's you that have gone from tropical island to city to freezing city to now California. It was traveling something you always wanted to do, or did the opportunity just present itself?
Well, kind of opportunity. My mom my mom had moved to New York about 6 years prior to me coming to New York. And so right before I turned 18, she was like, hey, you want to come and, do something, you can. And, I was like, yeah, I want to do something.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, my brother and I, we moved together. My brother's 5 years younger than I am. And so we made the move, and it's been
It's not quite
crazy time.
Chris, it's not quite complete because I see you have that Yankee hat. You need to convert 100%, baby, and go Dodger blue.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Embrace the blue.
It's funny because I actually enjoy watching the Dodgers play. My wife and I, we go to the Dodgers game with my oldest son. We go to the Dodgers game as often as we can. But I'll say this. We realize that when we go to Dodgers games, they lose.
Yeah. You stay away from the Dodgers.
You stay home forever.
I've probably seen 2 winning Dodgers games out of like 15.
Wow.
And so we stopped going. When they need to win, we stop going.
I
appreciate that.
It's almost worth me buying you season tickets to watch Casey and Matt be miserable every year.
Next time I'm sitting in my chair watching the Dodgers and they're losing, I'm gonna go, fucking Chris.
Where is
Chris is there.
I'm probably there.
Yeah, you look on Instagram, he's like on the third row, like at home plate.
Waving.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, quick
Yes,
tangent.
it's a thing. I promise you it's a thing. Like every time we go, they'll lose.
Quick tangent. Oral Hershiser was at my wife's work today filming a commercial.
Your wife got oral at work today?
Hershiser.
Yeah.
Oral Hershiser.
Oral Hershiser?
What was the Bulldog doing at her work? Oh, Spectra?
Yeah,
or
filming a commercial.
Oh, okay.
And she texted me, do you know who this is? I'm like, yeah. Come on,
Do you know who this is?
Who is this? That's the Bulldog, baby.
That's funny. Well, so I have to ask the question, when did overlanding come in? Because I don't know that Barbados or New York screams off-road and overlanding.
I'll say this. I recently, in the last couple of years, I've got a bunch of friends still in Barbados, and they've got the Isuzu D-Maxes and the Helux.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff that we can't have over here. Barbados has a JDM market, so all the stuff that people go crazy for over here is standard over there.
Yeah.
We do the opposite. In Barbados, we go crazy for the American cars.
Yeah.
In Barbados,
Really?
it's opposite. But
Those are junk.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
what do they envy that we have that?
Ford Ranger.
God.
Well, when I was younger, you guys had cars like the Maxima. I actually had a friend whose dad had a 3rd gen Maxima with the automatic closing seatbelt. Right?
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
I thought when her dad would pick her up, I thought that thing was so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
I had him in my Ford Escort, and it was like when you first got in, it was like a spaceship. You're like, this is the coolest thing in the world, until it cuts you in the neck when you're trying to get in one time. It strangles you.
That reminds me of like the trash cans, like in your kitchen or whatever. You wave your hand over and the lid automatically open. I was like, I can't believe this.
Wait, dude,
this
they
is
have
real
that?
life.
Yes.
They have that?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm still using the manually operated.
You don't have to do that anymore, dude.
Mine doesn't even have a lid.
Wait, there's lids?
It's a
You
basic,
can get them with lids now?
So you so obviously didn't do from the time you were up till 16 to Barbados, you didn't do any really off-roading or overland. It doesn't sound like. Moved to New York.
Never camped.
Yeah.
Never camped.
Uh,
Moved to New York, and I got into street racing.
oh, okay.
Did a lot of street racing. I still have my Subaru.
Nice.
I had a Subaru Forester with full suspension, all the bolt-on mods and everything. And
Nice.
I used to go street racing pretty much every night on the weekends, and I had a buddy. We used to call ourselves the Highway Patrol. We'd go out at night and just find people to race, and that for a long time. And I got older. I moved to California, and and it kind of just didn't feel right doing it here. You know what I mean? I wasn't familiar with things and places or whatever, so I just kind of
The ins
calmed
and
down.
outs, yeah.
Dude, there was a pretty big street racing scene here for a while.
For a while,
yeah, no.
yeah, there was.
Probably
Yeah,
still
way
is.
back
I'm just
in the
out of
day.
it.
Yeah.
And so I had stayed in touch with one of my Subaru buddies who lived here, and he got rid of his last Forester and started off-roading. I was like, what? And at that time I was working at Toyota also.
Okay.
I was a
What were you
technician
doing in
at
Toyota? Oh, okay,
I was a
technician.
technician.
Okay.
Yep. And so I'd work on these trucks, and these trucks would come in with like freaking big old tires. I'm like,
Yeah,
things
king
bolted
shocks.
to it. I'm like, what is all this, and what are you guys doing, and why do your tires need to be this big? Right? I'm replacing bearings every 2 months or something on the same truck. I'm like, yo, like, come on, what are you doing? And
You do work for Toyota, so that's obvious. Sorry.
They give me shit because
So-
Land Cruisers have to be maintained more than
Maintain.
newer
They have
cars.
to be rebuilt weekly.
Yeah.
I just drove that thing.
Anyways,
my Land Cruiser sitting right here. Time for a new block. Time for a new engine.
See?
yeah, but it has 500,000 miles
Hey.
on it, dude.
Yeah, almost. Mine's got 300,000 on it.
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
So but yeah. So my buddy, he who was into the street racing scene, he got into overlanding and off-roading, soft-roading, I guess. And at the time, I had just bought another Subaru. It was a '06 Outback wagon with the flat six. And so I wasn't planning to do anything with it at all. And again, I had never camped or anything, but I saw what my buddy did with his Forester. I was like, that's kind of cool. And so I kind of eased my way into it. And one night I went up to Fraser Park right here, close to Gorman, to watch a meteor storm. And I ended up staying that night. Me and one of my buddies, we had a little fire pit, and I had a small cheapy awning on my car, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I did some dirt trails and stuff. I was like, all right, this is different. Having never camped or anything before like that, it was kind of eye-opening. I was like, now I get it. Like, I get it now. And so that's where we are today. 4 years later, my issue living here in AV was, if I ever needed something, I would have to travel down to like Front Runner or travel down to LA somewhere, or buy it online and wait for it before I can go camping or whatever. And so I really, throughout the pandemic, I've really kicked around the idea of getting this up and going, and I almost didn't do it.
Oh, really?
Almost didn't do it. I got cold feet. I was like, I really want to do this right now, but I'm glad I did, obviously. And business is going well so far. It's been interesting learning all the ins and outs and meeting people, and and sharing knowledge. I do a lot of talking every day about people come in who's never camped before, and so I always want them to make educated decisions before they buy something.
So I was just going to say, because what specifically is your business? Like what
So
specifically?
I don't want to call myself an outfitter, but what we do here is we sell and install the things that can help you get out there and enjoy your time out there longer. Anywhere from recovery stuff, rooftop tents, racks, battery systems, solar systems. We do lighting, storage. I mean, we do pretty much almost everything. I'm not as detailed as our focus on one particular thing.
I was gonna say, is it brand specific or just in general,
Nope.
or
That's just overlanding in general. What we don't do is
nice?
suspension and wheels and that type of stuff. I all those years at Toyota, and I also worked for Penske also. And, I got tired of busting up my knuckles and, you know, coming home with a aching back every night. It's rough.
So
And so
it's mostly like an outdoor lifestyle brand, outdoor lifestyle outfitter.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
outfitting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
What was it about when that first night when you went to see the meteor shower and you camped for that first night? Like, what do you look back at that and can you like pinpoint what it was that gave you the bug that made you wanted to do this?
Well, for me, it was the kind of like self sufficiency. I didn't have a whole lot of anything. My car was still stock wheels, stock tires, but I had this little awning on the side. I brought my little Coleman stove that I bought from Walmart the night before. I had some food with me, and it was for me. It was the first time ever doing anything like that, and it was kind of a spur of the moment with one of my buddies. He was like, "Hey, there's a meteor storm, and let's go to this spot." And he had a bunch of spots already picked out.
Okay.
And we went up to Fraser Park. It was like, I think we were like 8,000 feet up, and I don't think I've ever been up that high on solid ground, obviously. And I took a walk, maybe 100 yards, and I was gasping for air. I was like, I thought I was gonna die. I thought it was really healthy, man. But I took a stroll, and I was gasping for air. I was like, is this normal? But it's like, yeah, it's just. I was like, oh man, but it was fun. It was cold. I remember it was cold. It was November. Early November or late September or something. It was cold.
Those are like half of our trips where they're just spur of the moment. Like, hey man,
Yeah.
let's go to Big Bear tomorrow. You guys want to go?
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna go to Johnson Valley. Let's go do this. Let's do an overnighter. And that's really once you get your stuff set up and you kind of know, all right, I got to bring this. You have your stuff kind of set aside.
Yeah.
It makes things a lot easier, and then it becomes like an instant.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, once the rig's all set up and you got all your gear. So
Right.
going back to the pandemic, and you're looking at the fact that you gotta go to drive all over the place to get this stuff. So you you go, all right, I'm gonna do this. And did you have a background in running a business, or are you like just fighting your way through it?
I have no business background at all, but I pride myself in being very adaptable, and I'm able to absorb a lot of stuff that's around me. My wife, she started her business is about 5 years old, and she had no prior business experience either, and she's been killing it. And I've helped her with that, in small areas, where I can. But just kind of thinking about it, within 5 years or whatever, we're both business owners, and we're doing fairly well. I can always do better.
Yeah.
But
But I think that's probably you helping her, and then as you're going through stuff, she's going to give you input, and like you guys are helping each other be successful in this. I think that's really inspiring. That's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was it was almost like it was kind of a leap of faith kind of deal. It was like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it all the way, because I probably could have gotten into drop shipping, right?
Yeah.
Never touch or see a product and just ship it to you, and that works. For some people it works, some people it doesn't. But I really wanted to fill a void that I knew for a fact it was here, and based on the location and locations of other overland stores or whatever, none being anywhere from 50, 60 miles out, I felt like I had a good chance of this succeeding. And I did it really fast. I got my business license and all that stuff started out in like January. I found a spot in March, and June. June 12th of last year was my first day open.
Wow.
And I probably could have opened earlier had it not be for the shipping issues we were having last year. So I gave myself an entire month to just collect and get stuff in. So it was kind of, I was kind of nervous waiting that long. You know what I mean? Because people were already getting out. You know what I mean? I didn't want to kind of miss that big rush.
Yeah.
But it worked out. You know, we had a really good turnout here last year, and it was fun. Just, you know, it was kind of mind blowing at the end of the day. I was like, wow, like I did it. Like I did it.
I think people are going to get out regardless of whether they were fully geared up to their expectations or not. You know, like like you just said earlier, like, yeah, I was gonna go with my buddy. I went to Walmart and picked up a Coleman or whatever. I've done that. What do you got at Walmart? Like, I just need a tent heater and I need, you know, whatever. I need some propane. You're like, the whole goal is I'm just getting out right now. I don't have to have everything like I need or whatever. And then, you know, given the opportunity later on, or you know, you take advantage of places like yours, like, oh, okay, now I can grow or expand my
yeah,
exactly.
And I think that goes to, so I think most of us the camping gear and the lifestyle gear starts this way. I just need I need the thing. I found a thing,
just want a tent.
The cheapest thing I could find. And then you get out there and you go,
a camping chair.
All right, this kind of sucks. And then you buy the next one up that's like $20 more than the one you should have bought, and then you already bought.
The zippers suck
and
on
then,
this thing.
That one kind of sucks. And then
so
for most of us, we've probably bought 6 sets of camping gear over the years and different things, but
sometimes you buy 6 tents in like a year and a half
season,
span, you know,
yes.
But
and you keep them all in your shed.
I think one of the things that,
because you don't want to throw them out. God, I spent that freaking money.
Sorry. Like what you talked about earlier about educating people, and I love the fact that you're fairly new to this lifestyle. So you're coming right off of the, hey man, I didn't know anything about this 6 years ago. Here's where I'm at today. This has been my experience. I've tested these products. I've done these things. And I think it becomes more relatable for new people to have a conversation with you while you're trying to provide them, like, okay, this is what I would do in your situation.
Yeah, and I go through that almost every day. I had people come in here, older people, you know, like more mature people, never camped a day in their life, never overlanded a day in their life. And this one guy came into the store one day and grabbed one of everything, literally. By the time I rang him up, like $2,500. I'm like, dude, like you don't need this and you don't need that. I was like, hey, go take a trip. Take you and your wife. Go take a trip. Doesn't have to be far. Take what you have and then take this trip. Go see what you need after the trip.
Yeah.
Then come back. We can talk. I can actually help you figure out what you need to do first, second, or not at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Then he listened to me. Didn't listen.
Really?
A day later, he texts me. He's like, hey man, I think I spent too much money. I'm like,
I tried to tell you. I
told you.
How that's like a opposite world where you were trying not to sell him stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, I know it's in my bank account now.
Yeah,
but and this is early in my. This was like a month after I opened, so that good, you know, that was some good money coming in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I kind of knew from the time he came in here, I was like, you know, I kind of knew how it would go.
Well,
and
he probably was on Instagram and he followed like a number of people and it's like, I gotta have this. These guys all have this stuff.
Yep.
We'll do this. You know, hey, scottles are great, but if you don't know how to use them, maybe just go with the $40 Coleman the first few times, and it's fine. You know,
the same thing.
And I think that we've talked about the overland tax a lot, where like if you want to go over, if you're going camping, the tent is $20. If you're going overlanding, the same camp is $50. The same tent is $50, right? So I think that there's a part of that, and people that are getting into it are like, oh well, I have to have all this gear, like Matt says, like
you see it on. You're getting
I need
into
one
it.
of those,
I gotta have
I need
all
one of
this
those.
stuff.
I love the fact that you tried to tell the guy, no, take a step back, dude. Just go experience it.
Maybe you hate it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, maybe
you
you
know
hate
what?
it, and maybe you,
I hate scenery.
and maybe
And I have problems breathing at altitude.
yes.
You know what? The dirt sucks.
Yeah. I had to wash my truck for 3 hours.
But we've mentioned this many times on the show when it comes to lift kits and outfitting your rig and getting all your gear is take it slow, get a piece, experience it. Ask one of your buddies if you can borrow their stuff, rent it. You know, over time you learn. Now, if you've been doing it for 25 years and you go, yeah, I know this is what I want, great. But if you're just getting into this, take it slow. Otherwise, you spend $5,000 and you look in your garage and you go, I don't even take that with me anymore.
Or I don't even know how to use it.
Yeah, there you go. I don't even know how to use it.
And so, I will gladly spend time telling people my experiences and what I suggest. And one of the things that was poignant to me here was that I was going to sell stuff that I've used before because I know, hey, this is what works. I have experience with it. It's not going to fail, or look out for this, or you don't have to worry about that, or whatever. And so a lot of the things that I had in here in the first 6 months were things that I had on my vehicle or on my previous vehicle or on my Land Cruiser, or stuff that I've had experience with, or stuff that I know works in a certain situation.
Okay, quick edit. If I remember correctly, you said you needed to get out of here at 7. Do you still need to leave at 7?
I can probably stay another 10 minutes.
Okay, then I just want to make sure we start talking about the event and all that stuff. I'll
All right.
clip this piece
All right,
out.
cool.
But I saw 7 o'clock and it just clicked in my head.
Oh, this is fun, man. I want definitely we gotta do this again.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll do part
for
two.
sure.
For
We
sure.
can do a part two.
All right, cool.
Okay, that's cool. The fact that you tested products. Now I think you've probably grown big enough to where there's stuff that you haven't got to try out yet.
Right.
You had mentioned that your June 12th of 2021 was the grand opening. You have a big event coming up this Saturday, June 11th, 2022. Tell us about that.
Right. So June 11th, 2022, we will be 364 days, old. But, let's call it 1 year, for posterity. Let's call it 1 year. We're going to have a big old party here, really, like we did on the grand opening. This is what we did. We had music, we had food, we had giveaways, we had raffles, and it was a good time. I met a lot of people that day, and I'm hoping to meet even more people on Saturday. And come in, we're gonna have some deals going, some really awesome giveaways by some of our partners, and I'm just ready. I'm doing some remodeling right now in here, so it looks terrible in here right now, but it should look a lot better on Saturday. And,
and what time does it start? What time does the event start on Saturday?
So the event starts on Saturday. It starts at 10 a.m. We're gonna run it until 2. We're probably gonna do the raffles like around 1:30ish or whatever, and you don't have to be present to win. I got some people asking me about that. So if you had to drop your raffle ticket off, make sure it has your name and number on it so we can call you.
You mentioned partners. You've got looks like MK Lightwear, Darshay. I'm not familiar with Frontrunner, Max Trax, Blackbeard Firestarter, Omnia, Go Treads, Hardcore, and Ironman 4x4 are all participating in this.
Sure.
The address is 45715 23rd Street, Suite 1, Lancaster, California, 93536. So Saturday, June 11th, 2022 at 10 a.m. going until 2. That's exciting, man. I think, you said 364 years, call it a year. For
Days.
I'm sorry.
364 years would be like
That's how old
like
I
the
feel.
Dutch
That's
trading company or
that's-
whatever. I believe. You'd be
That's-
right up there.
First,
That's how old I feel.
Yeah, like the first trading company of ever.
This is what I deal with every week.
But I don't know. Maybe it is.
My point being is you took a leap of faith 364 days ago to open this business, and you are clearly making it. You're clearly doing it. You're making progress. You're learning as you go. You're growing your community. You're building your customer base, and you should absolutely celebrate the hell out of that, man. Congratulations to you and the AV team to be able to pull this off, and to your wife, by the way, because I'm sure the behind the scenes she's constantly
behind the scenes. Yeah.
That's I think that's an awesome thing that you guys are doing. And if you look up in that area, like you'd said, there's not a lot of options up in that area, even though it is a thoroughfare up into that off-roading area.
Yeah, but we've got like Dove Springs right up the road. We got Mojave.
Yeah.
We've got, it's everything that way.
Yeah,
North,
Randsburg, Ridgecrest.
Yeah.
I'm looking at all this stuff.
It's the gateway.
It's very much
in the gateway drug.
It's a gateway drug. Just ask Chris. He went camping one night. Now his
he
entire
went camping
life is
one night.
consumed.
That was all it took.
That's all it took. Just one hit.
I gotta get hungry. I need a fridge.
Oh crap! All right. Well, look, man. I know that you got to cut it early. We talked about that, so we're gonna let you go. I do hope everybody that's listening gets a chance to go up to the 1-year event at AV Overland in Lancaster, and then. Maybe in a few weeks we get to have you back on for a longer conversation, talk about the 1-year anniversary and some of the other things you're working on. But please, everybody, please go over to their Instagram page, which is AV Overland Supply. Follow them on Instagram. Check out their website and come to the 1-year anniversary event. Chris, man, really good to talk to you. I'm super inspired by your story. I want to get deeper into like your life that got you to here, because I bet it's a fun story. And thank you so much for joining us tonight and hanging out.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Casey, Cody, Joe, Jose, and Matt.
Oh, it's Carlos.
Carlos.
Okay, I accidentally called him Carlos last week. I don't know why. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. But yes, thank you so much for being on the show, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
you guys
Chris.
for having me.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, bye.
No, he hung up.
Oh, that's super cool.
Well, that hasn't happened in a while.
It hasn't happened in a while. Okay.
Elam, I don't know if Thunderdome is Thunderdome. It might be in Lancaster. It could be.
I mean, that's a strong. That's like a high probability, right? Like
Sure.
Palmdale area.
It's not. It's a safe bet.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's that? city where your uncle?
Pear Blossom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
It's probably.
Yeah, it's probably
look, I
there
wasn't
somewhere,
gonna
dude.
say where I actually thought it was. But yeah, that shit's in fucking Pear Blossom, dude. I might have, my uncle might have had a part in like helping build it and stuff like that back in the day.
Wow, he's one of the founders, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't remember that story? His uncle was wanted by the FBI.
No, I know, but he's
It
one of the
wasn't
founders.
FBI. Sure. CIA, the
Secret Service. The Secret
was
Service
after
was
him.
looking for Matt's family.
Yeah, he had grassy knoll.
Oh man.
It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
Yes. It was the one.
But you know what? I would have believed Harrison Ford, because he's a pretty honest-looking guy, right? Come on, man. It's Harrison Ford.
It is Harrison Ford.
Huh?
He looks like a dick.
Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
What are you talking? Well,
Dude, I look at him and like, yeah, it looks like a pretty cool guy.
I just know him as Han Solo,
3, 2,
Indiana Jones,
1.
and I find him trustworthy.
3, 2, 1.
Harrison Ford.
3, 2, 1. All right, so these guys are talking about Harrison Ford
Yeah,
and whether
he
or not
shot
he's
first.
a jerk. Yeah, what?
Exactly.
Han Solo did shoot first.
He did.
Hence,
Well, whatever.
asshole.
It's self-defense. Look, the guy did things with his lips like an anteater. It's like that would scare the shit out of me too, dude. Just shoot. F that guy. Nobody's gonna miss like a humanoid anteater.
Have
Bro,
you guys
you're-
watched Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
And there's that mole rat person
Yeah.
that's got the weird funky
Yeah.
nostrils on the last episode. That show's not great. It's
I missed the last episode because for some reason my TV won't pick up the Wi-Fi anymore.
it's
So, I don't know. I told Monty, well, it looks like 85-inch it is. I'm trying to get a new TV.
You need a new router, not a new TV.
My tablet works.
You need a new router.
Update the software. Go to the settings and update the software.
Yeah, I did all that stuff.
Yeah.
I
So,
need a new 85-inch TV, guys. Why are you guys trying to fuck it up for me, man? I got her right there. Like, she's about, whatever. She's already looking at TVs and shit. Like,
You got her hook, line, and sinker. I'm not over
look,
here
these
trying
are
to cut the
technical.
line, dude.
These are technical issues.
Yeah.
All right. Call Samsung and tell them to fix that shit. That's what I told her. She's like, just get it a TV.
all right. So let's recap the last week in Trail Chaser Land.
Oh, I was gonna say, like any other land, this
Um,
week's been a rough
It's
one,
been a
baby.
rough one.
So, it's
But I made it.
Yeah, you did good.
I'm here.
I think you're going in a different direction. I'm
Yeah.
talking about
Toyota Fest.
Well, I'm talking about last week. Jose's land.
I went through a transformation.
Jose went through major transformation. That was last Wednesday, right?
That was quick. That was a quick
Yeah.
transition.
They do it quick now, dude.
So-
Do they? Like, I mean, you
like
look great.
outpatient.
You look great. Yeah.
When's the beard start coming in?
Oh, I thought he went the other way.
So last Wednesday, Jose and I went up to Bear Valley Overland, and we showed up to a pallet of Jolly Green goodness from Ironman 4x4 America. And Casey and Corey at Bear Valley Overland, and Jose to some extent, not me, worked on the truck
He held the flashlight.
all day.
Yeah,
all
I did.
day.
I was a flashlight.
It's
holder.
daytime, right?
Well,
Like,
It
Alright.
started daytime because originally
oh shit!
It started morning.
in
time.
morning. Yeah,
Right.
the original plan was suspension was going to be sent down. Foam Cell Pro was going to be sent down for the 80 series
for the show.
for an upcoming event that we'll talk about, Toyota Fest. But when we got up there, Casey and Corey were like, "Do you know what's on this pallet?" And I said, I thought suspension." And then, no, do you know what's on this pallet? No, it was suspension, front bumper, winch, lights,
Roof
rack, roof rack,
Damn.
awning.
270 awning, maxi case.
Yeah.
What's a maxi case?
The gray boxes
Those
that are
gray
on my
boxes.
truck.
Oh, okay.
But a bigger one.
It was literally, hey, size
It's not
doesn't
about
matter.
size.
The
dude.
biggest.
The so it was an entire. It was basically.
I got outfitted.
It was
I'm sorry, I
basi-
didn't mean to agree with Cody. Yeah, size matters.
It
Four
was.
people.
It
I
was.
swear.
It was basically the catalog for the 80 series, and so Casey, Corey, and Jose got all of it installed. The Foam Cell Pro kit's installed, the front bumper, the winch, the lights, the whole deal. And the whole point of that was that I was going to take the 80 series to Long Beach for the Toyota Fest, which was on the 3rd. Which we'll talk about in just a minute. But let's go back to this. So we
You
literally
keep talking about things we'll talk about.
We'll talk about it in a minute. There's a chronological order in which
Let's
I want
circle
to
back.
proceed. We'll circle back. We'll put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. We'll circle back. So the Jose, what were your thoughts on the drive home from Bear Valley with all the stuff on the cruiser now?
It's finally sorted the way I always wanted it to be. Like everything isn't everything aligned, not aligned. What's the word I'm looking for? It just
Synergies.
Seemed, synergy.
It's
Everything's
a synergetic.
yes.
It's a synergetic.
I don't know. Everything
Ew.
just it finally it feels complete.
That's the word?
No, it just feels complete now. Like my truck feels complete.
I don't know what else you could
No,
put on
I
that
don't
truck
either.
at
I
this
don't either.
point. I mean, it's
Anything else would be just a like a luxury.
rock lights.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
just
think
like
the
a-
next.
Skid
Oh,
plate.
dude, do it. Don't let that hold you back.
No,
yeah, but right
skid
now-
plates is really the only thing left.
I don't even need that. I
Oh,
mean,
God. Just put
Casey, was that
somebody's-
sarcasm or were
yeah.
you being serious?
Oh,
A
come
little bit of both.
on, come
Okay.
on, baby. That was
as far as the
dripping.
Land Cruiser goes, I mean, it's literally you can hop in that thing right now and then drive it wherever.
You can. You're not going to get there quickly, but you could drive it. so Jose got to drive it. So Wednesday, Jose drove it down the mountain to his house, parked it, and then I went and picked it up on Friday
Yeah.
and drove it home and got it loaded up Friday night and drove it out to Long Beach. So here was my route on Long Beach. So I drove from my house to Long Beach in the morning.
Yeah.
To Cape Toyota, where I met up with the guys from Cape Toyota, and we carpooled over to Toyota Fest. So Toyota Fest is an all Toyota car show that had 500 cars in it in Long Beach. Everything from a 1966 Toyota Scout pickup to MR2s to the Toyota Yaris slammed and turboed to old Land Cruiser, right-hand drive Land Cruisers, the Trooper with the truck body, the four-door with the truck body. Just bitchin'. So many bitchin' trucks. Like, I spent half my day on Craigslist trying to find an old Toyota to buy because I wanted one. It was so...
And then you saw the prices on them. You're like,
well,
oh,
no.
wow.
And then I drove yours, and I was like, that fixed it. So it was very cool. Thank you so much to the people at Cape Toyota for giving us the opportunity to hang out with them. We got to park. I got to hang out with those guys. Had a lot of people come up. Everybody that came up loved the 80. They were all about Jose's truck. They were all like walking around it. What about this? And what about, how'd you guys do this? And what's going on? And I kept having to say, it's a 94, I think, and it doesn't belong to me. I was texting Jose, who makes your spare tire rack? Because I don't know who that's for. But it was a really good opportunity to meet a lot of people from the Toyota community. Shai and his daughter showed up. I got to hang out with them for a little while. Thank you, Shai, for coming by. I was there from like 7 o'clock in the morning until 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then drove from Long Beach to Redlands in Jose's Cruiser to pick up my daughter, and then from Redlands back to here. So I got a good amount of time behind the wheel of the Cruiser.
And
it's a bitchin' truck. It is a bitchin' truck. It's solid. It doesn't match my driving style. Like, I made a couple videos on Instagram, and I was joking around. Like, if you want to pass someone on the freeway in the Land Cruiser, the first thing you need to do is not try to pass anybody on the freeway. Like, because here's what happened, and maybe this is your experience. Like, you know how you're like in one of the lanes, and the lane is slowing down, and you're like, I'm going to change lanes and squirt out in front of this other. And I'd look in the side view mirror, and I'd hit it.
Well, the mirror's shaking.
Yeah, the mirror shakes the whole time. But I look at the side view mirror and I hit it thinking I'm going to shoot out. And then I'm like, no, there's a car 2 miles back. I'm not going to get enough speed.
I'm going to piss him off.
Yeah, that car's going to rear end me if I shoot. So I would like, whoa, back in the lane. Wait. It just, I'm so used to driving. Oh, and the other thing is that it's a mechanical gas pedal. It's an actual mechanical gas pedal, not a fly-by-wire gas pedal. All of our gas, I don't know if you know this, but modern vehicles, there's no cable that goes from the gas pedal. It's a potentiometer. Yeah. So
it's a wire to a motor.
I want to reach down and feel the bottom of Jose's leg because I got to believe his calf muscle is the strongest thing on the planet. Like, I kept thinking to myself, there's got to be something under the gas pedal keeping it from going further. It's got to go. I'm pushing and like, you know,
it's
you're
a
like
spring in the hood, underneath the hood. Dude.
I'm pushing as hard as I can. And, but look, it's a bitchin' truck. You can feel that it's planted and it's solid. It's very stable. It looks awesome. If I were to own one, it would just be a complete mind shift of how I drive because I'm so used to the quick and nimble Ranger and like the mid-sized truck to where if I just want to shoot over here and I can hit the throttle and you know, pick up speed immediately, right? Oh, the other thing it doesn't do quickly is stop. Fortunately, I didn't shit myself, but there was at least once where I'm on the brake going, all right, I'm taking Jose's truck.
I guess we're testing out this bumper.
At least you got a big ass steel bumper on the front.
I'm taking Jose's truck right through that Altima because there's nothing between me and that Altima but death.
Dude, it's like a 6,500-pound truck. Dude.
It is a beast.
It's a fucking tank.
It is a absolute tank, but it is a bitchin' tank. It looks bitchin'.
That car is more about the travel to the destination than it is the destination.
The nostalgia.
Yeah, it's like you're just in the moment in that truck.
Yes, it's super cool. You saw the video of Presley. Like Presley was like, "It's so fast," and I'm like, "It's not fast. We're doing 65." Like I don't understand. But
it feels fast.
It did feel
65
fast.
Probably felt like 92
in
or
that
whatever
truck. Yeah,
to her, like
it's one thing I will say that was interesting to me is, and this is because I hadn't driven it before. You know, as you're on a freeway transition and you're like kind of on an embankment and you're going freeway speeds and you hit a seam in the road and it's a bump. Like the first time it happened, I felt the truck rock a little bit, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm going down. Oh shit!" But then it just kind of leveled itself out, and I was like, "Oh okay. Well, you're looking at me funny. This thing is 3 times higher than your Frontier. Like when you think about the
No, I know.
It's
Are
tall.
you not aware of what you're driving when you're doing?
No, but
things?
I'm just
Well,
saying
not only that, and
it's
it's
a
solid
different
front axle. So
Yes.
I mean, you feel
Probably
feel
yeah.
yes.
That's the difference. Is
It's
what
a-
you're feeling is the solid front
I'm,
axle.
it was a little bit. I don't want to say it's not squirrely, but it harkened back to
Loose.
driving my
It's called
WJ.
loose.
Yeah, and it made me okay. Now I know where I'm at. I'm
Loose
good.
means fast.
You're floating a little bit on that.
A little bit. Well, I used to joke around about in the Jeep. When you're in a Jeep, the lines are suggestions. They're not. You don't stay. You just as long as you're within some percentage of that. But it's a bitchin' rig, dude. It is built. It's super solid. There were a handful of 80s that I did get to see there that were like fully restored. Like I love the fact that yours is classic and still you use the shit out of it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what they're for. I mean, yes. I mean, this is a discussion I had with Casey's when he bought. Dude, I didn't realize how clean his 4Runner was. The one that he bought.
You saw it?
Yeah,
Oh, when you were up there, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize how clean it was because the pictures he sent were a little out of focus and they were kind of shitty.
It's got iPhone 10.
But dude, that thing is like a museum piece. Like his 91 4Runner 4x4.
It's super fucking clean.
You can't. There is no better representation out there on the road right now.
No. Matter of fact, Casey,
No.
that 4Runner,
This-
you could have driven that 4Runner to Long
exactly.
Beach and parked it next to some of the other ones. There
Yeah.
were a couple that were. There were 2 Gen 1 4Runners that were part of the Cape Toyota event. Super cool.
We had on Saturday, we had a 95 come in, and today we had a 91 came in, and both of them were like just complete garbage compared to Zen's.
Yeah.
Like
dude,
it's all about who owned it. You know what I mean? How it was taken care of.
But that 91 that he has, dude, it is. I almost told him, like, dude, you almost can't do anything to it because it's such a you'll never find another representation like that of a 91 4Runner ever again.
I already offered Zen more money for his. So the background here is Casey bought a 91 4Runner for his son who turns 16 in January.
Months,
And it's beautiful. I got to drive it to the pizza joint.
Yeah.
That's
another going nowhere.
I will
fast
tell you
car.
that Zen is not going to get a speeding ticket in that truck. Absolutely. Not unless he's going downhill and he's got it in neutral. That's the only way he's getting a speeding ticket in that truck.
Yeah, I think probably just start with some sliders to protect it. I don't think I'll fuck with the bumpers right away, and then a lift. That's it.
So, Jose, as far as the cruiser is concerned, is there anything left? Like, it seems like it's
No, at this point it would
pretty
just be
topped
more
out, man.
quality of like a fridge was probably
Yeah,
the last
fridge.
thing I would install. Fridge,
Backup light.
yeah, just probably some more
Chase
lighting.
light.
Yeah, some chase lights.
Oh, that's another thing. I didn't think that the backup camera was like it wasn't a thing that I needed because I can't see, but I can't see behind me in my truck. I always use the side view mirror, and then I use the backup camera. I almost backed into one of those 87 4Runners in your car. I was like, oh my god, this is so bad. This is
They would have killed you.
Yes, it would have. Yes, for sure.
But I'll probably end up buying one. There's like a aftermarket camera and electric rearview mirror. It's like $200 from Amazon. I'll probably end up doing that. That way there's a rear view camera and but yeah, man, that truck it's when I bought that truck, this is the way I envisioned building it out, and it took 3 years to get to this point, but I mean it finally feels like the rig I want to take out.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's absolutely awesome, dude. I mean, I would give you a hard time about it being slow, but that it's not meant to go fast. It's not a race truck. It's a go anywhere at any time truck. It's it's so dialed in right now, and it looks so good. I'm excited for the next trip for you to like get to experience it in its current form to see how you like it. So let's talk real quick about that 4Runner case. So you'd said for a while you were keeping an eye on opportunities because you knew it was Zen's 16th birthday was coming up and you wanted to grab something. And this just popped up in the local for sale ads.
Yeah, Susan had some money saved up, and it popped up on Facebook on Big Bear Stuff for Sale. She said, "Hey, you want to go look at this?" I said, "Yeah, that thing's worth probably twice as much as he's asking for right now."
You could absolutely sell it for twice what you paid for it.
100%.
So they were already there looking at it, and I went over there. Yeah, I went over there and I saw the guy and I was like, "Oh!" And we happened to. He's like one of our first customers at Bear Valley Overland. We worked on 2 of his rigs, and he was like, "Oh, now I have to give you a deal." So we looked at it, and I gave Susan the okay. She went and got the money and handed him a stack of bills, and we drove it off.
Yeah, it's a beautiful 91 Gen 2 4Runner. I was really surprised at how clean the interior is, and especially for being in Big Bear most of its life.
It's been garaged its whole life.
Obviously, because Big Bear, it gets down to 20 degrees and then it gets up to 90 degrees.
But the snow
and the salt and the whole like this thing is pristine, man. It's in beautiful condition.
Yeah, the exterior, the interior, the headliner, it's all power. Everything works. The sunroof works.
Wow, it's a 91 and all the window works. All the windows.
Yeah,
work? Yeah. Because one of the windows in Jose's truck does not work, and I found out the hard way.
It works. It works.
It works. You can get it down. Yeah. You cannot get it back up.
Yeah.
I forgot. The
AC works. Heater works. We went camping over Memorial Day weekend, and we took it up there, and I was kind of just to feel it out to see how bad it was going to be once we got onto some rough terrain, smooth as butter, just like no clanks, no clunks, no like harsh hit. The back end, the springs are tired. So it was like, we had it loaded with some stuff and it was like bottoming out in the back. So we'll address that, but not anything broken or bad or anything.
But you guys talked about, we already have a good solution for that, correct?
Yeah.
To fix the sag.
Yeah. So
I feel bad, dude, because when Casey texts us the pictures, like, what do you guys think about this truck? I shat all over it. I'm like, dude, you don't want that. It's like it has head gasket issues. Because I had a 94. And he's like, oh, well, I already bought it. I'm like, oh, fuck.
I said, no, he just said, oh, yeah, those things have some issues with this and that. I was like, yeah, well, it's Zen's now.
Yeah. I was like, oh, shit. I'm just like, sorry for shitting on your parade, dude. But,
no, but I mean, you have to expect that with any vehicle. That's why, I have 8 months to go through it and
but even
address any of these issues
and
fix it up.
Even if it costs a couple $grand to have someone go through the top end of the engine and get it all dialed in, you're still ahead of the game in value. You still have equity in that truck.
Mm-hmm.
When is it only a couple of grand to go through a top end on a motor?
I had the entire on the Dodge, the 4.7. I had the whole thing rebuilt for $3,000.
I was gonna say we could probably find a motor for $2-3 grand, and I'll drop it in there.
The motor is good, dude. It's just the head gasket issue, which is that crossover pipe. That's the problem.
Yeah, and there's a way to reroute the crossover pipe, or I was thinking about just wrapping it in some of that exhaust. Heat wrapping.
They do that too, but it's still like, trust me, dude. I went through it in my truck.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, that header.
You just go to Home Depot and you get some of that high temp silicone.
Yep. JB, just a good line of JB Weld all the way around.
JB Weld.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
But that's super cool. I mean, I know he's excited. I would be excited as shit if that was my first vehicle.
Dude.
Yeah.
What an amazing first car.
Super.
We'll deck it out for him. We'll do some like rims and tires and a lift. And like I said, I want to build some sliders for it. Probably won't tackle the bumpers right off the bat, but
no, leave it. I think leave the bumpers stock because it looks so clean.
Except for their fucking chrome. I hate chrome.
Yeah, bro, but I'm telling you, this is like a museum piece, dude. This
it is. It really is.
You almost don't want to fuck with it, but I mean.
But I also don't want those steps to get clobbered. The
No,
first
I get
time he
it. You
goes
bought-
out with us on freaking White Mountain,
Yeah,
those steps are
steps.
goners.
I mean, this truck, if in 10 years from now, it's gonna be worth 10 times.
I know. Now that you say that, Jose, I'm almost like
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, you should
just
don't fuck with
don't.
it, dude.
Yeah, just park it. Don't
Just park it.
here.
Drive
Give
around.
it to me.
How do I park it? It's his car.
He's not yet. It's not his yet.
True.
Just being.
I would have to find
Indian
something
giver.
else, buy that, and say, here, you get this Prius instead. Here's a PT Cruiser. I'm keeping the 4Runner.
Yeah. I'm telling you, dude, that truck it's like a museum piece, dude. It's so clean.
So it is.
And you're never, dude. You're never gonna find another 4Runner like that. Only at these shows where like these guys trailer them and that's it. But
yeah, I'm telling you, you could have parked that in the exact condition you have it.
dude,
You could have parked that
100%.
truck at Toyota Fest this weekend.
Had I been able to get the day off, I would have.
Yeah, or have him sell it for 3 times the price he paid, and then he can go get something like a Ranger.
Then you go get a Frontier Pro 4X.
Yes.
Yeah, you get a clapped out Ranger. There you go.
That's super exciting for him. I'm
a
so
splash.
Yeah.
Yes.
Splash edition.
His buddy just got a freaking like Sidekick,
nice.
something like that. Yeah.
That's good. You guys have all kinds of cool old cars up there.
Yeah, that
Or the- what was-
VR2.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh,
Diamond plated
Yeah,
rocker panels.
Speaking of Sidekick, do you guys pay attention to Kevin Jones's Suzuki Sidekick off-roading adventures on
I have.
Instagram?
It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's awesome. He's got all kinds of Sidekick goodness up there. So he gets his permit, and then he it was a Geo Tracker. Is that what it was?
That's right.
He officially can start driving it January, right?
yeah. So in July, he'll be 15 and a half. He can start. He
Permit.
can go get his permit and things like that. And then January, he can start driving it. So
God help us.
I know.
yeah.
Shy in the chat room when we were talking at Toyota Fest this weekend, he said that his daughter's looking for an FJ Cruiser. So
Good luck
Like
with that.
a newer style one, or
yeah, not like a 45, like the new.
No,
body
like
version.
he wants like a 2009 and up. I'm like, yeah, dude, good luck with that. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah. You know what? Like Zen, he was all about 4Runners, and I was like, good luck, buddy. We're gonna find you a clapped out. We're gonna find you a clapped out Ranger, right? That's. I mean, he was all about Rangers too, you know. And it just you got to have the money when it comes up, and
Yeah, that's the thing is being prepared for it when the opportunity does present itself, and then just jumping on it, right? I think you guys did a great job there. And it's man, damn it. I wish I would have thought about that. I could have taken the 4Runner to Toyota Fest instead of your dumb Cruiser.
dude, man, we flip flop real quick on this show. Huh?
I know.
yeah.
It went from all the love to the 80 to fuck this
I
truck.
tell you what, though, I probably, if I'd had the pink slip in hand, I probably could have sold your 80 for a lot of money. Like,
It's like, where's my truck? I don't know, but here's a stack of
yes. Let me
Go buy some skid plates.
Yes. That's what I should have done. I should have
complaining.
sold it.
You have
I'd
no
be like,
excuse now.
I don't know, but give Zen this money, you can get that 4Runner from him. I don't. But it was. That's a super cool truck. I'm excited for him. It's going to be awesome. He's going to enjoy it. And then Jose will cry the first time he wrecks it.
I'm gonna cry when
Ooh.
it's like, damn, it's not stock anymore, just because it's so clean. But I know you guys bought it to go wheeling. and stuff.
Yeah.
It's bought to be used.
But
I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do like I want to keep it clean. Everything I do, I want it to be super clean. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like a clapped out
I
4Runner.
wouldn't care if it wasn't so stock.
Yeah.
If it wasn't so well taken care of, I wouldn't give a shit. But the fact that it's a museum piece, it's like, fuck,
Casey,
dude.
Jesus, it's a fucking 4Runner from Toyota.
Yeah, bro, but you're never-
museum piece. What museum? The Peterson
The
Museum.
Peterson,
The
Stop.
Toyota Museum.
Toyota Fest.
Yeah. Okay, guys, come on.
So-
Bro, you haven't seen it. When you see it, you're like, damn, you're
I
right.
saw.
Pictures don't do it justice.
Casey,
dude.
I think that we have to make a deal that the only parts that can go on that truck are parts that were available in 1991. So like the big 3-inch round Nerf bars and the old school Casey highlights.
Yeah.
And like but yeah, I'm excited about seeing what you guys do with it.
It's gonna end up in the lake. Come on, guys. Why are we pretending?
I have faith. He'll be good with it. All right. The next thing is we just talked about, and nobody hold me to this, but Pure 4x4 is doing an event in Big Bear, and it's come up a couple times. That's in the first week of August.
Yeah.
And it's on our radar as something that we're trying to do. It's called Base Camp, and it is in Big Bear. Casey, do you know where the camp is actually at?
The Holcomb Valley Campground.
Yeah. I was gonna say that it looks familiar. So
They did it. I don't know when they did it. I don't think it was last year because of COVID and everything. But they did it recently. It might have been right before COVID. They did it.
Yeah.
But
it says they did it 2021 in SoCal.
Oh, okay. They just finished doing one in NorCal.
Yeah. So
who sponsors this?
It's
Is it
Pure
like...
4x4. I don't know much about them.
I would say Pure 4x4 would be comparable to like Olaf events.
Okay.
Right? Like that kind of thing.
So they're an event.
Base camp here's base camp, and we go out wheeling and stuff.
Yeah,
Matt,
they'll
look,
do
a
like
lot of questions.
They'll do like classes,
I'm
like
sorry,
probably recovery class. And
somebody brought this up, and I have questions.
Well, it's good. Maybe somebody else has the answers. I don't.
Yeah, they'll do like stuff at the camp. They'll probably do like some kind of cook-off. They'll probably do recovery classes and winching classes and all kinds of shit like that. But then they'll be wheeling too. So
okay. So we're gonna check that out. It looks like a really cool event, and we're going to try to make that happen and learn more about it. If you have experience with any of the previous base camp events, shoot us an email and tell us about your experience. We'll talk about it. So we're doing this review contest between now and June 21st. I have been informed that you can't leave reviews on Spotify, which is okay. So I've had
suspicious.
So I've had 2 listeners that are Android users that have said they've tried to leave reviews and they can't yet. So I don't.
Get an iPhone.
Get a real phone.
No. It's a shit system. It's a shit.
But the only system that can allow us to read reviews, so
it's so terrible. You can do the things you want to do on it.
No,
yeah.
I'm almost ready to scrap it and say we're not going to do this.
Then
anymore.
oh God. Look, for all I know, is you try calling me every day, but your service is so garbage. It doesn't go through.
My service has been fine since I switched from my last provider
like
to T-Mobile.
Your provider's probably some weird Russian bot, provider, and your phone. Who knows where your phone's from? I mean, I would say China, but everything's from China.
Yeah.
So, like, whatever. It's probably from, like...
it's a 5th gen service.
Nice, Jose. Nice. That's a reference to Top Gun. If anybody saw Maverick.
Nope, don't.
Went and saw it last night.
It's good.
It's a 5th gen phone cell, sir.
It's really good.
Say it, Casey.
It's really good.
Yeah, it was good.
Zip it.
Well, I like watching or staying up on like popular movies and events. And,
I do too.
Do you?
I just
saw Batman like a week ago.
Don't get the chance.
It's
the original one.
Yeah,
I know. You guys suck. So it looks like we got you said 2 more reviews, Jose, since since last week.
Matt did. And it's Carlos to you, sir.
So who's going to read those?
I'm bringing it up right now.
Okay, so the deal is between now and June 21st, 2021, June 21st, 2022. If you leave a review on iTunes or someplace else, I don't know where yet, you'll be entered into a drawing to win some swag.
All right, so here's the first one.
Okay.
It's labeled Cody, Matt. And this is from Mental Bill. We all know that Matt is the hot one.
Yeah.
What? We do not all know
right.
that.
Thanks, Bill.
We do not
Yeah,
all.
you guys
He's
know.
mental though. Look.
He is, yeah. It's in the name.
It's in the name.
That he's just bragging about his like prowess mentally. Like he's
Is
very
that what it
intelligent.
is?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to choose to interpret that a different way.
And then
Go ahead. It's America.
the second review is titled Awesome Podcast, and this is from Bama Country Boy. I'm assuming it's Alabama?
Yes.
Found this podcast after listening to several others on their radio network. A great mix of info and fun, worth the time to listen to.
Thank you, Bama Country Guy.
That's probably related to the Jeep show.
Yes.
That you were on this week.
So
I listened to.
Did you? Okay, cool. So thank you, Bama Country Boy. Appreciate it. And yes, he's talking about the radio network with the Jeep Talk Show and a bunch of those guys. So that brings up another point is this was kind of a crazy week for us as a show. We released our show on Thursday, the 2nd, June 2nd, 2022. The same day, the American Overlander podcast from Venture to Rome was released with the three of us on it because Casey couldn't read email. He didn't get on that show. And then
I was at a thing.
And then the same day, the Jeep Talk Show released an interview they did with me a couple months ago. And so it was like three podcasts got released in one day that was part of the Trail Chaser team. And it was kind of a cool deal to have that. It was fun doing the Venture to Rome interview because it was a little bit on the other side of the conversation, letting him ask the questions and drive the conversation.
Exactly. We're reactive more than proactive.
Mm-hmm. And I liked it. I mean, that guy's really cool. Both of them are really cool. We had a really good time, and it was a good opportunity to just kind of talk about something different for a little bit. And then the Jeep Talk Show. There's a long history with us in the Jeep Talk Show, and Tony was like, we haven't talked in a long time. So the Jeep Talk Show now.
He was like super excited that you finagled the podcast into a job. Like, wow, you've done it. You've made it. Like he kept referencing. It was almost like you won the lotto or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
What's funny is
you
that
still have to work. I'm assuming.
I still work a lot.
Okay.
And the funny thing is I've got like several messages from people that they were like, finally, you admitted where you work on this show. How come you would like? I'm like, how does everybody not know where I work now? At this point, if you haven't figured out where I work, you're just not
Is
paying.
it still secretive? We're not even going to say it. Like,
no, it's just now it's
Jesus.
funny. That was the thing. Like another comment was, how come you haven't said it up to this point? I'm like, because it's hilarious. Because when people
ask,
ask,
big giveaway when you first, I'm doing the Tony Stark internship. I mean, that's hilarious, dude. I mean, if you don't get that, like,
shit. So, I think over the last several months, if you haven't picked up where my job is, then you're just not cyber stalking enough or paying attention. It was good.
Maybe you can give them classes on how to cyber stalk appropriately or effectively. Just saying.
Look, I get results.
Yeah, but everybody knows the results you're going for. It's like, I mean, I guess, as long as it's obvious.
So that is, we're going to check out that Pure base camp thing and see if we can't fandangle our way up in there. It's in Casey's backyard, so we should be there. What else? Anything else going on, guys, that we want to touch base on? We unfortunately, Chris already told us that he had to get off a little early on his interview, and so
I feel like we're just getting started.
Yeah, so I feel like we could have a whole nother conversation with him in the future, which we will. But what other things, Casey? What's going on at the shop? Anything new and exciting?
We're doing a whole buttload of stuff to Joey D's
that's
Gladiator on Saturday. This coming
Doing
Saturday.
butt stuff.
Yeah.
Have you gotten consent? I would expect that you get that written
Oh,
consent.
you got to get that thing.
We're
As
still
soon as it pulls
drafting the
up.
release forms, but
What's the safe word?
Bama country. Bama country.
Omaha.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have a lot of stuff going on. That's Saturday you're doing that?
yeah, on top of a 4Runner lift.
91 Forerunner.
91?
No, it's for a 3rd gen.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
We're doing an Ironman lift on a 3rd gen.
Nice. Yeah, and we checked when I was up there last. There is a Ironman does make a kit for that 91 4Runner, right?
Yeah,
so
but it's out of stock. But you got to check on some shocks for me.
okay. Yeah, I think that would be cool to get a full Ironman setup on that thing and get it all geared up. So yeah, it looks like there's a full foam cell kit. So that
They don't have foam cell kit.
there's a foam cell, but not a foam cell pro.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Because it's nitro, foam cell pro. And I don't the differences, but the
You should know.
Shouldn't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
You work there.
no, I mean like. I know the difference between the
Confirmed.
technology. I know the differences between the technology, but I don't know why. Like for example, a foam cell is available for X, but not a foam cell Pro, and a foam cell Pro. I mean the R&D.
If I worked there, I would know.
You probably would.
Jose, I'm shocked you don't know.
I'm surprised he doesn't know. Yeah,
the R&D that goes into this, and the list of vehicles of what's available and what's in development and what we're working on, and it's a full-time job just trying to manage. That's what
Yeah, it's just like it's revolving, right? Because there's
Constant.
new trucks coming out and
constant.
old trucks that have to be kept supporting. So
And then there are some old trucks that you're like, do we really need to continue supporting that? We haven't sold one of those kits in 4 years,
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot there. Casey, on that 91 4Runner, it looks like it's shocks and torsion bars.
yeah.
Interesting. Do you remember torsion bar story?
free lift.
I fucking hate torsion
Okay,
bars.
do you remember when your buddy Keith bought that giant yellow Silverado?
truck? Yeah.
And we put blocks in the back, I think, and then cranked the torsion bars as hard and as far as we could
Talk about
to
pogo
get
stick, dude.
lift
Yes.
on that. I mean, you guys were 17, 18 years old when we did this, but I remember like, oh yeah, you can crank these, crank, and that, well, it lifted that truck for sure. I
Yeah.
don't know how well it drove, but it definitely
It was a fucking dump truck. That truck.
it was giant and yellow. But yeah,
Standard cab, long beds,
standard cab, long bed, yellow truck,
lifted like 8 inches
That's hilarious, dude.
on 35s,
bald ass,
and it was a
tires.
six cylinder
Yeah.
manual.
Ooh.
Those are the days. Back when you were just happy to have a vehicle.
Yeah, you didn't give a shit, dude.
Yep. And then now your kids running around with a classic Toyota. All right. Well,
I had a classic Plymouth Champ. I mean, it's classic. It was old. And, never mind.
okay. Well, on that note, because nobody cares about Matt's Champ.
Nobody.
No, I don't think so. Thank you very much to Chris for joining us for the quick interview. Thank you to everybody in
Auto Shop. We talked about putting a turbo on it and calling it the Tramp. Turbo Champ. Tramp. Come on, Jose. It's true. We did talk about it.
That's horrible. Thank you to everybody in the chat room for joining us. I appreciate it. And let us know anything new coming up. Let us know. And otherwise,
How much longer we got on the review contest? Like another
21st.
June
2 weeks,
June
2
21st. Yeah.
All right.
2-3 weeks.
June 21st.
I'm
Get
just gonna
those
say,
reviews in.
yeah, any positive reviews towards me,
Or negative.
I'm gonna do. Okay, yeah, both. I'm going to do whatever I can to influence the winner.
And by what he can is basically just
It's
sit on the other side of the
I'm
table.
just going to go. Basically, I'm going to say, "Are you sure?" And then as soon as it's pulled or however we do it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great night. We'll talk to you next week.